Well, welcome back, and we are still working on our badge creation. We are going to move on to the website Badgr to actually stamp or forge or create, depending on what word you want to use, your badge. It sounds pretty cool to forge a badge, right? So that's the one I usually go with. We are going to sign into our Badgr accounts. I've invited you to join Badgr. Well, I've invited you to join our group on Badgr that we have. I'll show you why in a minute once I log in using my Google and just using my Eastern Christian address. So here's why, because we have issuers. If you don't have yours going to issuers right away, your backpack should show you any badges that you've earned, which maybe you've earned some by now, so that might be neat to look at. In our issuers, we have Eastern Christian I've set up as a, you know, place that can issue badges. And I think we've talked about Badgr before, so this is not brand new. But we are going to go ahead, and now that we're in the issuers, we are going to create a badge. So we're just going to hit this little blue button here. And it's pretty simple. This shouldn't take long to do. The hard part is the thinking involved in what to type in some of these fields. But the mechanics of it are very easy. The first thing is we've created a badge in our first assignment in this thing. So now I can add that badge here. We can add a name. I always put EC at the beginning of mine, as you can see from this autofill-in list. So EC Ceramics, perhaps, and then a colon, and then I put the name of the badge. Now, do we need to be consistent as an institution? I don't know yet, but I think it might be nice to be. It doesn't necessarily sound great, EC Ceramics, so I might have to think about that a little bit. It's not bad. Under short description, if you were to go back and read all the badges I've created, you'll see that I change how I do this from time to time, but I try to say something like the earner of this badge has demonstrated a mastery of, and then I start going on about what it is that they're doing, or, what skill it is that they've mastered, and then what is required. So here I usually say something like students have demonstrated mastery of this, maybe mastery of blank, by completing the following assignments. And then I just typically list what they are. You could think of this as students are able to, so you could probably write it like that a little bit more. By being able to, maybe that was better language. There's the formatting in this, when you go to preview it, it could be a little weird. If you don't want numbers or something like that, there's this language that you can put in here to format, because you'll notice it doesn't have any spots to format anywhere in here. But it's, yeah, this markdown. So theoretically, there's some ways to make things bold, maybe by putting stars around something. Oh, that's italics. Um, so you can kind of do things like that, but for the most part, if you just type, it will create. And if I create like a numbered list, then it will format it as a list. So you can just put in the things that you can do, and let's see, yep, and then it would be there. And then theoretically, we might make a web page at some point that says that we put all the details on the web page of what our badges could do, but we don't do that now. You could also align it, I believe, to standards. Yeah, to any educational standard. And I typically don't do that. I honestly would probably put that a little bit more in here, though. Um, I mean, I want to do this, but most of my coding badges right now really don't have a good standard that I like, that I want to align them to. But probably I should do that more often, but my classes just happen to be weird. So it might be great to put in the alignment. Tags is just a searchable thing. That's not really not that important. And I never deal with expiration, but maybe you at some point we might make a rule as an institution to say our badges last for 5 years and then we don't think they're masters anymore, or whatever that number might be. But that's all you really need to do, and then you can just hit create badge. I won't do it, but it will create a badge and it will show up here on our list of badges. And because I've created a ridiculous number of badges, it's going to fit in here. Well, I think my earliest ones are here, so it will probably show up at the top. So that's nice. And then yeah, you'll have a badge, and then the next step will be to put that badge into our actual Canvas classroom so that we can award the badge. So that's what we'll be doing next.